Good morning. I am Robert Sumwalt, and I'm a board member with the National Transportation Safety Board. The NTSB is an independent federal agency. We're charged by Congress to investigate transportation accidents, to determine probable cause, and then to issue safety recommendations to prevent the reoccurrence of those accidents. We are here to begin the investigation of the derailment and subsequent collision of two BNSF freight trains, which led to an ensuing explosion and fire. We've brought a team from the NTSB's headquarters in Washington, D.C., as well as an investigator from the NTSB's Central Region. The investigation, the NTSB's team, will be led by Dick Hibskin. Dick has over 25 years of rail experience and about 15 years with the NTSB as an investigator. We will be on scene gathering factual information. That's really what we're here to do, is collect factual information. We will not be doing any analysis while we're here, and we will never do any speculation at all. So while we're here, we're just on a fact-finding mission. We'll be looking at the following areas: the track condition, the mechanical condition of the trains, train recorders, the track signal system, operations including interviewing the train crews, hazardous materials, and emergency response. I suspect that we will be here in North Dakota for about 5 to 7 days. Given that we've just arrived, in fact, the airplane that brought us in is just right out there, so we literally just arrived. We don't have a lot of factual information at this time, but we will be updating you with media briefings as the investigation progresses. That said, here are a few facts that we can confirm this early in the investigation, and given that we've just arrived. On Monday, December the 30th, at approximately 2:10 p.m., a westbound BNSF freight train carrying grain derailed near Casselton, North Dakota. When it derailed, a portion of that train fouled or went over onto the adjacent track. Subsequently, the eastbound BNSF train struck cars of the derailed train. The manifest for the eastbound train listed the product carried as petroleum crude oil. The damage to the oil train, both head-end locomotives were destroyed, 20 cars derailed, and one of those cars was a buffer car, which is filled with sand to provide a buffer between the locomotives and the products carried in the tank cars. And there were 19 cars carrying the product that derailed, for a total of 20 cars. I think our biggest challenge right now is that the fire is still burning, and we're not able to get up close and personal to the wreckage until the fire has gone out and the incident commander has declared that the scene is safe. And speaking of the incident commander, we want to thank the efforts of the first responders. They've been working tirelessly now for about 20 hours under extreme conditions. And also, we're sympathetic to those who have been affected by this event. We know that an entire community has been disrupted, and they are certainly in our thoughts. In closing, I want to reiterate what the NTSB is all about. Our purpose for being here is to find out what happened, why it happened, and then make recommendations to keep tragedies like this from happening again. That's why we are here. For the latest information, I would encourage you to follow us the latest information on our media briefings. You're welcome to follow us at Twitter, and our handle is @NTSB, and our website, www.ntsb.gov. Now, we do need to go and begin our investigative activities, but before we do go, I'd be glad to try and answer a few of your questions.
Can you tell us what type the rail cars were?
The question is, what type were the rail cars? We will be confirming that. We have preliminary information that indicates they are DOT 111 cars, but there are different types of DOT 111 cars, so we will want to be confirming that. That's certainly one of the things that we will be looking at.
Can you tell me if they're classified as great, medium, or minor danger level?
What was the hazardous rating of the product carried? We should have that for you this afternoon. We are hoping to have some more information, substantive information. Eric will be giving you information about any subsequent press briefings. We are hoping to be able to do that, and we should have some confirmation on the level of hazard for that product carried. There's a question right here.
When you said 19 cars carrying product derailed, is that crude oil carrying cars or grain carrying cars or both?
Okay, the question was, when I talk about 20 cars derailed, one of which was the buffer car and the 19 others were carrying product, what is the product that I'm referring to? And I was referring to the derailment of the train carrying the crude oil. So when I say that 19 cars carrying product derailed, I'm referring to the crude oil. Thank you. There's a question right here, and then we'll come over here.
I know the investigations can be quite lengthy. Can you kind of give us a time frame on perhaps how soon you might have some preliminary findings and how long it might take for final?
Yes, how long does the investigation last? When can we have some preliminary findings? We typically can come out with some preliminary information. It's really a recap of the factual information. We usually do that in about 10 days. The final report is probably going to take between 12 and 18 months. Yesterday, we had 2 rail accidents that we're dealing with. One, we've just arrived today. Yesterday morning, there was a collision between 2 freight trains in Louisiana, so we've got a team there. In addition to that, we've got a rail accident that we're dealing with in New York City that occurred on the 1st or 2nd of December, the Sunday after Thanksgiving. So we are very, very busy, especially in our rail division. So I'm going to say that I suspect it will be at least 12 months and maybe even longer. However, we do have the ability that if we find something that needs immediate attention, we can issue urgent safety recommendations, and we can do that if we find something that needs attention. And there's a question over here I think you had.
Yeah, my question was about this particular stretch of track has seen previous derailments. Has the NTSB investigated any of those? Do you know what the causes of those derailments were?
We will be looking to see if there's other derailments that we have investigated in this particular area, but that's right now. I describe what we're doing is collecting the perishable evidence, that information that can go away with the passage of time. And so that type of information, like what other derailments have occurred in this area, that information we can find out 2 weeks from now. What we want to do here is get that information that will go away with the passage of time. So that's what we're here for right now. Yes, sir.
Does NTSB currently have any other open investigations involving crude oil, trains, petroleum?
The NTSB, do we have any other investigations involving crude oil? We are working with the Transportation Safety Board of Canada with the Lac-Mégantic accident that occurred in July. We are working with them on that, but that is the only other open investigation that we currently have involving crude oil. I want to thank you, and we will be. Eric will be providing information about future press briefings as well as through our social media sites. Thank you very much.